Hi boys and girls, today we're going to compare decimals with tenths. So we're going to use page 325 in your workbook. So go ahead and get that out so you can do this with me. Okay, on the first one, it says color to match each mixed number and write the equivalent decimals. Write greater than, less than, or equal to compare. Okay, so on the first one, I already filled it in. And it says that this represents 2 3/10. 2 3/10. And it even has a decimal here between the two whole pieces and the fractional piece. And then it's comparing to 2 6/10. And it has the decimal here between the two whole pieces and the 6/10 of another one. Okay? So we're going to use this line to write the fraction as a decimal. So 2 goes in the ones place, decimal point, 0.3. Because remember, this first place after the decimal is the tenths place. And so when a number is over 10, it goes in this first place after the decimal. So 2.3. And this one is 2.6 is the same as 2 6/10. So you can see in the picture which one is larger. They both have two whole pieces, and then this one has 3/10, this one has 6/10. So we know that 6/10 is going to be greater. So it says 2.3 is less than 2.6. Okay, and the next one, we have 1 whole and 7/10, 1 7/10, compared to 1 5/10. So 1 5/10 here. Okay, so 1 7/10 would be one whole number, 1.7, and 1 5/10 would be 1.5. And you can see once again in the picture, 7/10 is greater than 5/10. So 1.7 is greater than 1.5. Okay, if we move down to number 3 through 8, it says write greater than, less than, or equal to compare. So we have 7.5 compared to 8.1. So we just have to look at the whole numbers here, and we know that 8 is greater than 7. So it'd be 7.5 is less than 8.1. Number 4, once again, look at the whole numbers first. 3.4 is greater than 2.9. Number 5, 6.3 would be less than 8.3 because I'm looking at the whole numbers in the ones place. Number 6, this is the first one where we have the ones place has a 2 here, and this one has a 2 as well. So we have to look at the tenths place to figure out which one is larger. Okay, so 7 is greater than 3, so we're going to say 2.7 is greater than 2.3. Number 7, we also have a 0 in both of the ones places. So we're going to look at the tenths place. We have a 6 and a 9, so we're going to say 0.6 is less than 0.9. And number 8, 4.5 and 4.3, they both have a 4 in the ones place, and the 5 is greater than the 3 in the tenths place, so 4.5 is greater than 4.3. Remember, whenever we're using these symbols, it looks like an alligator mouth, and it looks like he's going to eat the biggest number. He wants to eat the most that he can. Number 9. On these, it says to write the decimals in order from least to greatest. So they gave us 3 decimal numbers here. The least one is going to be 0.8 because it doesn't have anything in the ones place. Then 3.4. And the greatest is 7.1. On number 10, they all have a 2 in the ones place, so we have to look at the decimals to know which one is the least and which is the greatest. Okay, so in the tenths place, the 3 is the least, so 2.3 and then 2.5, and then 2.8 is the greatest. Okay, then at the bottom, number 11, it says, answer the questions. Daryl, Kathy, and Lydia raced to the playground and timed how many seconds it took each of them. So here they have their times. Daryl was 30.3 seconds, Kathy was 30.7 seconds, Lydia was 30.1 seconds. And it wants you to put them in order from least to greatest. Okay, so they all were in 30 seconds, and so we have to look at the tenths place. Lydia had the least amount of time with 30.1. Then Daryl came in with 30.3, and Kathy came in with 30.7. Okay, so using that information, who was the fastest? The person with the least amount of time would be the fastest. So it would be Lydia. And who was the slowest? The person with the most time would be the slowest, which was Kathy. All right, and that is our lesson on comparing decimals with tenths. Have a good day today.